This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching or participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
Good evening and welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, August the 11th. The Muggies have returned to this area. It's a little hot again today and humid.
How would you know you weren't outside?
I was outside. I had to go get the live stream equipment out of the car.
But that was at 7.
And it was hot and muggy.
How about being outside when I was outside?
Yes, you played 18 today.
18.
Yes, on the miniature golf course. Did you get in the clown's mouth on the first hole?
The miniature golf course. Pretty sure I hit driver on the first hole.
Ooh, you really need to hit driver to get in the clown's mouth?
And I think I hit it on the 3rd hole. I think I hit it on the 5th hole, the 6th hole, the 7th hole, the 8th hole, the 9th hole.
How'd you do?
80.
80. For 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 18.
For 18.
Best round at that course ever, right?
Yeah.
80?
Best round ever, period.
Period. See what happens when you play by yourself?
I didn't play by myself.
Oh. Well, you didn't start by yourself?
I had 2 holes by myself.
Ah, got ya.
3 holes. And then I paired up with a group of 3 that was in front of me because it was pretty busy. So there was a lot of groups of 3 and 4. So I just said, hey, can I play with you guys? It'd make it a lot easier. Instead of, because they're like, you could play through. I'm like, but I'm going to have to play through you, and then you, and then you. Like, I didn't feel like playing through everybody.
Got ya. So, keeping it on sports for a moment, right before we came on live, we watched the 3rd overtime in the Tampa-Columbus game. We're into the 2nd round, or would actually be the 1st round of the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, it's on right there when it comes back.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, you can turn it on. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to turn it on.
So if you see us glancing down, we're looking at the screen. But
or if I go, oh, yeah.
oh, yeah. The other game was 3-2 Calgary. We'll get to our predictions a little later. We now that we know how the bracket's going to shape out and stuff. Well, not that we know how the bracket, because they do reseed this year. It's a one-time thing. So we do have our NHL predictions. We will get to that in a little bit. For those of you that saw my little post on Facebook, I said I was going to talk about how Joe Biden's Veep pick, Kamala, leg spread Harris, how she is similar to the Big Ten. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But I want to start with one of the greatest sports known to man.
Curling?
Curling is pretty cool, but no. I want to talk about professional wrestling.
That's not a sport. That is entertainment.
No, it's not. None of it's fake. No.
Yeah, because you know that thing with Mysterio's son totally wasn't fake.
You know, there used to be a thing in the 80s where they swore it was real, and then there was something where they finally admitted it was fake because of tax purposes and stuff, that they admitted it was more of an entertainment thing.
It says World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yes. And when I was a kid, it wasn't that way. It was World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, so by
the
wording.
Actually, when I was a little kid, it was Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Wow.
Oh, so they've gone through stage shape. But for those of you that are NXT watchers, it's kind of like the minor leagues of the WWE. They did something.
Yeah, that's better.
Last Wednesday, which was pretty cool. One of the former champion of NXT, Adam Cole, baby, he's going to be wrestling. They have their pay-per-view coming up, not this Saturday, next Saturday. And they got him going up against one of the greatest entertainers out there who's not a wrestler. He has his own radio show now. He was in the NFL till a few years ago. He just got married a week ago. He's been on ESPN Game Day a lot. College Game Day, which hopefully we'll see that somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
And he's also been on NXT TV. And do you know who I'm talking about?
I forget his name.
I'm talking about the one, the only former punter of the Indianapolis Colts, Pat McAfee.
Punter.
Yeah. Punter. That's pretty cool, because McAfee is an entertainer, to say the least. And, usually when they do these wrestlers versus entertainer things, the wrestler's the bad guy, and the entertainer's the good guy. No. So the face and the heel. This one seems to be doing a little bit opposite. It's like Pat McAfee is the heel, and Adam Cole is slowly but surely turning face. I think it's whoever thought of this, it's genius, because I think it's just going to be something cool to watch. Because like how they started to set this up a couple weeks ago, Adam Cole was on Pat McAfee's radio show. He does a 2-hour radio show every day, Monday through Friday, and Pat was giving him the business a little bit, and then Adam Cole flipped out, supposedly broke a microphone, shoved a couple guys, blah, 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 blah. The next day, like him and Triple H talked, they smoothed everything out. Pat McAfee was invited on to NXT, and he called a match where Adam Cole wasn't involved in the match. His teammates were. There's 4, they call themselves Undisputed Era, and there's 2 of them that were going after the tag team titles. So McAfee, of course, went back to talking smack about Adam Cole. So Adam Cole flips out, he throws water at him, blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, water.
They start pushing each other. Adam Cole gets up on the announce booth. Pat McAfee comes running at him and punts him in the head. Knocks him out, supposedly. Now, when you're watching it live, just as he's getting ready to hit him, they change the camera angle, so you can't see it.
It's called action cuts.
Yes, but if you go and watch Pat McAfee's feed on his radio show, they don't change it at the right time. And it, like, obviously he doesn't hit him, or he doesn't hit him hard, but it looks like he does. He does. So the next day, Triple H goes on ESPN and basically challenges Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. So I don't know. I just think that's, whoever thought of that idea is, it's gold, Jerry, gold, as Seinfeld used to say.
6-on-4.
6-on-4
with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Wow, that's the Calgary-Dallas game.
Go Calgary.
So what do you guys think? Are any of my legions of Phatts fans and Fatettes?
The legions of Phatts.
NXT watchers out there? So, at about 3 o'clock today, just a tick before 3 o'clock, the Big Ten came out and said they're canceling the fall football season. Shortly thereafter, the Pac-12 came out and said they were canceling their fall football season. Actually, they said they were canceling all of fall sports, and they're not allowing basketball to play non-conference games before January 1st as well.
Basketball starts early.
Yes.
It's like
December.
I thought it was late November.
They'll
start playing exhibition games.
Yeah, exhibition games, sure. Reactions are mixed all over the place on this. I am very much against them canceling. And of course, when I say this stuff, people start coming out of the woodwork. Oh, kids are going to die. All you want is kids to die for this COVID,
I think this is actually one time we actually slightly disagree on something.
Yeah, we do agree on a lot.
I agree with it, but then I don't. I see both sides of it here.
That's because...
But I don't see it as a COVID problem.
That's because you
I want to go to the game.
Right. That's
so
why.
It's like if I could go to the game, I'm okay with it being in the spring.
Yes.
That's fine by me.
Yeah. So let's think about this.
Put our thinking caps on.
Mm-hmm. Grab our thinking caps. Now put our thinking caps on. Also doubled as birthday hats.
The fact that we still have these
and they were just like right over there
the whole time.
So,
hey, the balloons are still blown up.
That's right. The balloons have survived. Balloons. Putting our thinking caps on. Now let's think about this. Where are these athletes going to be the safest? Around man in the back.
Playing football. Because they will be tested constantly every week. And they
probably multiple times a week.
And they'll only be allowed in contact with their team.
Right. Yes. Unless they're going to class.
So if they got it, they could just pull the team and don't have to worry about it. They just for the game, I guess, basically.
Well, no. The Big Ten had said
later.
Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, so are these hats.
There are thinking caps.
There are thinking caps. This is absolutely ridiculous. These stupid academic presidents that voted for this, you could tell they're libtards. Of course, the Big Ten and the Pac-12, of course the Pac-12 out west, of course they would vote, because they want everything shut down. I'm shocked that 13 out of the 14 Big Ten schools are allowing kids on campus, which your school's one of them.
Which one?
I don't know. I do not know which one. I know it's not Purdue. I know it's not Ohio State. I know it's not Michigan.
There's one.
I know it's not Nebraska.
School that's not allowing kids on campus.
Yes,
it's probably Rutgers.
It could be. In fact, you know what? I think it is Rutgers. Actually,
that's where the most hot zone is.
Yes, that actually makes. You could tell you got your thinking cap on.
It's probably Rutgers. It's always Rutgers.
So if kids can be on campus, why can't they play sports? So now these football players, they're going to be in their dorm rooms, going around town, at parties, all this stuff that they wouldn't have been doing if there was a football season.
And they're probably 10 times more likely to get it.
Yes. Not that getting it at that age is a death sentence anyway.
No, I think if you asked the 50,000 kids enrolled at Penn State University Park, would they be infected with it and they... knowing that they're going to survive, I bet you they would. I'd say 49,000 would say yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure there'll be a couple
right again, unless if you have pre-existing conditions.
But I feel like you would know if you had these pre-existing conditions.
Yes. Holy shit, Christine Goodman's back.
It's been
Where have you been? Come back when we put our thinking caps on.
That's right.
I mean, a point that I brought up to you earlier. What is that? College Avenue goes across the south side of...
Right next to campus, it's the main road, that and Beaver Avenue with the most
restaurants.
Yes,
it's filled with restaurants. How many of these restaurants depend on those 7 or 8 weekends a year? They probably get 40-50% of their revenue because those places are packed probably from noon on Friday to 3 a.m. Sunday morning, except during the game.
Yeah, and then there's even Atherton when you get about 2 miles away from campus. That one's even more packed with restaurants. Like Champs is down that way. That's the one I know off the top of my head. But there's way more. I think those are the ones that more depend on it versus the ones right in campus because the students will still eat there. But
it's disgusting.
Yes, it won't surprise me when a lot of businesses basically start going out of business because there's no football.
Yes. Now,
I mean, Penn State even came out and basically said they're going to lose like half their revenue without playing football.
At least half their revenue. At minimum, half their revenue. Now, supposedly, Nebraska is looking into other options. You told me Penn State is looking into other options.
Franklin did come out and say he will look into other options so we can play.
Yes. Ohio State, there's talk about them for 1 year going to the Southeastern Conference. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Play Bama.
And supposedly, one of their recruits, 4-star recruits, has decommitted already from Ohio State. And supposedly, there's talk that many kids are not going to now go to the Big Ten because they're not going to play. Now, there's talk that they want to push it to springtime. My opinion is if they want to push it to spring, I don't really care. But I'll tell you right now, none of the coaches want it in spring. because you can't ask kids to play rough physical games
in hot weather.
Well, it's not hot out yet. In the spring, it's more hot now.
It's also closer to the NFL draft.
Right. And to have a shorter break and to get ready for the next season. I mean, they would have to move the fall season back some. I mean, this is a fucking shit show. I'm going to tell you right now, don't be surprised if there's not a spring season. The Big 12 were supposed to meet and come out with something. If the Big 12, the SEC wants to play. They've already said that. We want to play. We want fans in the stadium. The ACC wants to play. In fact, the head doctor of the ACC says they should play. It's better for the kids to play than not to play. So I would expect those two to play. If the Big 12 plays, then the three are definitely gonna happen. If the Big 12 doesn't, that means 3 out of the Power 5 are not. Then you might see the other two
kind of
fold until the spring. But I don't really think there's going to be spring football. As much as I wouldn't mind it, I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is a fucking shit show.
You'd almost have to play like an 8-game season.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what would happen. 6 to 8 games. That's it. Hopefully, if that's what they do, they'll allow fans by then. It's after the election.
If they tell me we'll play 7 games in the spring, but I could go to all of them, or we'll play 12 games in the fall, but I can't go, I'm obviously going to choose I can go, because we're still going to have Ohio State at home.
Yes.
Because that'll
be
one of the games.
Maybe. You never know what they might decide.
You can't go a year without Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah, but you never, they redo the whole schedule, who knows what's going to happen.
They would... My guess is they would try to have all the big schools play the big schools still, but like they would take me like, I don't know, I can't say Rutgers because they're technically
depending upon how many games there would be, they might only have you face your division.
True.
Like the Big Ten, there's East and West. They would have you play the East for Penn State.
Wow. West is real hard for Wisconsin.
Yes, there's
who do they got?
There.
Iowa?
So, the Big Ten sucks. The Pac-12 sucks. Kamala Harris
literally sucks.
That's how they're together. That's how they're
literally sucks.
So, Grandpa Joe supposedly picked his vice presidential running mate, or had it picked for him. Who the hell knows?
Grandpa Joe.
And he chose Kamala. Now, let's remember what Kamala talked about. You taking your thinking cap
I'm done
off.
with the thinking cap. It's itchy.
During the primary season, Kamala basically called Joe a racist without calling him a racist. You know, she said, I don't think you're a racist, but... Because he was against integrated busing or something like that, if I can remember correctly.
Okay.
I'm actually waiting for Joe to come up to Kamala and say, you ain't black. Which technically, she's not really an African American, actually. Her parents are from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
So I don't see where that makes her an African
I
American.
don't think Jamaica's like here.
Yeah.
Africa's here.
Yeah. So, if Biden wins, Kamala will be president. I don't think there's any way Grandpa Joe, serves the 4 years. I just don't see it happen. I don't think all the drugs in the world will keep that guy from full-fledged dementia and death over the next 4 years. But who knows? I could be wrong. So let's talk about Kamala.
That means ultimate hell.
Yes. Why? Let's look at her career. So, before she was senator from, in case you don't know, California.
Oh, what a state.
Progressive California. She was Attorney General of California. Where she supposedly put more blacks in jail than basically any other Attorney General in California history. It's funny how that works. Before she was Attorney General of California, she was a district attorney of San Francisco.
Whew.
Do we really... I mean, we already got somebody from San Francisco, Drunken Nancy, as the Speaker of the House. Do we really want somebody who was the former district attorney of San Francisco as the president? Do we want San Francisco, and if, God forbid, the Democrats were to take control of the Senate, you'd have Chucky Schumer from New York. You'd have San Francisco and New York.
Iceland, here I come.
Seriously. Donald Trump is the only thing that's preventing this from happening. I don't care if you're 97. I don't care if you're 104. I don't care if you just turned 18. If you intend to vote for him, you have to get your ass to the polls on November the 3rd. The Republic depends on it. And I don't say that just to, be sensationalist. College word. Might have been one of your words of the day.
Maybe.
It's true. Because God forbid we ever get progressives running the entire government. Bad news. Do you really want this country to become a socialist country? I mean, we're already halfway there. How many people do we gotta constantly give money to? I mean, I get it. The poor needs to be helped. I completely get that. But there's other ways to help them than to continuously hand them money.
Get a job.
How about paying for their education? Paying for them to go to community college to get an education to better their lives. How about that? I'd be for that. I'd be fine with that. One of the things that Slick Willie Clinton did when he was president, which I gave him props for, but it was after the Republicans took control of Congress, was the welfare to work law. Where basically he said you could only be on welfare for 5 years out of your entire life. So you were given job training to get off of welfare. That was an awesome idea. Bravo. Bravo, Slick Willie.
So you can't be lazy and get money.
Yes.
If you are productive, you will get help to make money.
Yes, that's the way it should be. None of this, COVID's going to go away November 4th, especially if Biden wins.
If Biden wins, I'll be filling the stadium on November 5th.
Yes. Well, November 5th would be a Thursday, so no.
Here, wait.
That would be November 7th if they're a home game. What are you looking at?
The date.
November 7th would be a Saturday.
It'd be November 14th. Will be the day because November 7th they play Nebraska in Nebraska.
Okay, then.
The game before that is when they play Ohio.
So Ohio State right before the election.
Great. 79 shots. Oh my god.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they are in the fourth overtime. They have played 2 games already.
The fact that Carolina though only has 55 tells you something.
Carolina?
Yes.
I didn't know Tampa Bay was playing Carolina.
Columbus, sorry. Columbus, Carolina begins with a C.
Completely different colors.
They both wear red.
It's not their main color.
They both wear red. No, their main color is white right now. Carolina's main color when the road team is white as well. Dumbass. Dumbass.
Tampa has 70. Wow, I said the same exact thing.
Did Calgary win their game?
I believe so.
By the way, their main color today was white as well.
You know what? Bite me.
No, thanks. I'm full. We had pizza and wings for dinner.
Yeah, we did.
So.
Yes, 3-2 Flames.
3-2 Flames. So let's go to our hockey predictions. Actually, let's recap how we actually did for the play-in series. Let's see here. Calgary, Winnipeg. I had Winnipeg winning. You had Calgary, right? I believe.
I did.
So I'm 0-1. You're 1-0.
No, I had Winnipeg.
You had Winnipeg. So we're both 0-1. Nashville, Arizona. I had Nashville. You had Arizona.
I did have Arizona.
So you're 1-1. I'm 0-2. Edmonton, Chicago. We both had Edmonton. So I'm 0-3.
I had them in 3.
I'm 0-3. You're 1-2. Vancouver, Minnesota. I had Minnesota. You had Vancouver. I'm 0-4. You're 2-2. Toronto, Columbus. We both had Columbus. I'm 1-4. You're 3-2. Pittsburgh, Montreal. We both had Pittsburgh. I'm 1-5. You're 3-3.
That was bad.
New York Islanders and Florida. We both had the Islanders. I'm 2-5. You're 4-3. Carolina Rangers. We both had Rangers. So you ended up 4-4. I ended up 2-6.
You know, I'm a respectable 50%. You suck.
So let's look at your picks in the Eastern bracket for this round.
Okay.
So we got the Flyers taking on Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal is the 24 seed.
The Flyers are now the 1 seed.
In the East. So you have the Flyers in 5.
I do have the Flyers in 5.
Flyers in 5.
I think Carey Price could steal a game.
Okay.
I know how good Philly's playing, but the way Price played in the last series, I think he'll be able to steal something.
All right. Columbus, Tampa. You have Columbus winning in 6. I'm assuming you're going to win this game.
They do need to win this game because I think whoever wins this game will win the next game.
Okay. All right.
And I think Columbus might have Tampa's number just a little bit.
Well, they beat them 4-0 last year when Tampa was the number 1 seed.
And they're certainly keeping up in this game, and their goalie's playing insane.
Yes. Washington Islanders. You have Washington in 7, and they're your team.
Washington's weak. I watched them play very, very bad.
Yeah.
They beat Boston 2-1. Yes. That's bad.
Speaking of Boston, who was the overall number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Who sucked in the round robin play, so they're now the number 4 seed in the East. You have them going out in 5 games against Carolina.
Carolina played good. Boston's playing like crap. I'm going to go with that Boston's not going to turn it around very quickly.
Okay.
So they're going to go down probably like 3-0. Then they'll get a game back, and then they'll lose.
Okay. So because of reseeding, that would mean in the next round the Flyers would take on Columbus, and Washington would take on Carolina.
Uh-huh.
So you have the Flyers over Columbus in 7. You have it going 7, a full 7.
Yes.
And you have Carolina in 7 over Washington.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be a very even matchup in my head. Washington, Carolina, just kind of like last year, where it went to 7. But I think Carolina will probably end up.
So you originally had who and who going to the finals in the East? I know one was Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh and Tampa. Actually.
Yeah, it was Tampa. Yeah, Pittsburgh and Tampa. So you've completely changed this around.
Well, it helps after watching the first round.
It does. It does. So then you have the Flyers going up against Carolina and making it to the Stanley Cup. You have the stinking Flyers.
You really think I wanted to put them there? Philly's playing dumb. That's just the best word to use, dumb.
They've certainly picked up right where they left off. Right before the beer bug break, they had won 9 out of their last 10.
They skated Tampa right off the ice, basically. And Tampa is supposed to be really good.
They did.
But they skated them right off the ice. Bye-bye.
They did. All right, so you got the Flyers coming out of the East.
I do.
So let's go to the West. Vegas is taking on Chicago. I believe Chicago was the overall number 23 seed.
Yes.
Who just took it to Edmonton. I did say that would be the highest scoring series.
It was.
And it was a very high scoring series. So you have Vegas in 7.
Yeah.
7.
Chicago, I think this will be, it'll be one of those series where, oh my God, how do you not score? It'll be one of those series where Vegas will go up 1, then it'll be 1-1, then 2-1. Then 2-2, then 3-2. It'll be kind of back and forth.
All right, we'll see how I have it. I have it a little bit different. You have Colorado sweeping the Coyotes.
I think Phoenix got very lucky at their last series.
Okay.
I forget who they faced. Do you remember who they faced?
Yes, I have it right here. Phoenix faced Nashville.
Yeah, they got lucky. So I think they're in for an awakening against Colorado, and it's going to be ugly.
Okay. You have Calgary winning in 7. Now, let's just state that we had these picked yesterday, so we did not know. Obviously, we were on air when Calgary won.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we did have these picked yesterday, and we don't know how each of us did either, because some of these look very familiar when you get to mine.
Dallas is playing kind of weak, so I think Calgary might be able to steal this. Because they both have very different playing styles.
Yes. And you have St. Louis in 5.
I think that one's just... It'll be 4 or 5, probably.
Okay. St. Louis hasn't been playing
They're not a
fantastic
great,
either.
I don't think Vancouver or Minnesota was very good.
Okay.
That series was kind of boring to watch.
So in the second round, then, you have Vegas facing Calgary and Colorado facing St. Louis.
Yes.
So you have Vegas winning over Calgary in 6.
That series will be very high scoring if that's how it plays out. Both teams seem to like to score and give up goals.
You have Colorado over St. Louis in 7.
That could be 6, but I think St. Louis will be if they can get some confidence over Vancouver by winning in 4 or 5, they'll play a lot better against Colorado, and they'll take it to them.
Okay.
They'll wake up a little bit by then.
And in the conference finals, you have Vegas taking on Colorado, and you have Colorado coming out of the West
In
7.
I think that'll be a war.
If that happens, I'm looking forward to that series.
I think the West is much more enjoyable than the East. I think there's a lot more.
So now, who did you originally have coming out of the West? You had Edmonton in the finals
against Colorado.
And
so I had Colorado. I had
All
Colorado coming out.
So you've switched 3 out of your 4.
Yeah.
And in the finals, you had Colorado and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And you had Colorado winning.
It's a little hard to put my conference finals in when they're both out. 2 of the 4 teams are out.
And you had Colorado beating Pittsburgh.
In 5.
Okay. So your champion. So let's see if you still have Colorado as your champion or if you have the Flyers.
Ugh.
You have Colorado winning in 5.
Yeah. I'm hoping... This one's very hard to predict because I don't really know how the West is going to face up against an East like this. But I'm hoping Philly doesn't have good matchups against Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So I think... Because Philly's skating really well.
Yeah.
But I hope Colorado can play around them. And the only problem is Colorado's goaltending. It can be iffy.
Former Hershey Bear, Philip Grubauer.
And Reading Royal.
Now, and you have a big point. Philadelphia...
Their goaltending looks good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And their offense looks good.
So...
So you're...
That game I could see going easily to 7. That series going easily to 7.
So why'd you pick 5 then?
Because I think Colorado will match up very well.
Okay. All right. By the way, that's still in the 4th overtime, and there's 7.5 minutes left to go.
Sure, let's go to 10.
The longest game ever was 5 overtimes. I believe that was Philly-Pittsburgh, won by Philly, if I remember.
Remember how much time was left?
No, I do not.
I have to start looking that up if it gets to the next overtime.
Okay. So now my picks.
Gay.
The Flyers, Montreal. I actually had the Flyers sweeping Montreal.
You don't think Carey Price can steal a game?
No, I don't. I think the Flyers are just playing that good right now. They're just playing that good. You had Columbus in 7. I have Tampa. No, you have Columbus in 6. I have Tampa in 7. So obviously I'm counting on Tampa winning this game.
Do you feel the same now watching this game that whoever wins this game's probably going to win the next game?
No, actually I don't.
No?
No.
It depends how quickly they could
get
rid of that game.
Yeah. I mean, one thing's for sure, they're not skating tomorrow. There's going to be no off-day skate for either of these teams.
There might be like a light one.
No.
Nothing.
No, now when you've played 2 games in a period. No. Washington and the Islanders. If you remember going into the Islanders series, I said they do not put up a lot of goals. They do not give up a lot of goals. I don't think they're going to score a lot of goals on Washington. I think another former Hershey Bear, Holtby, will play a decent series against them, and I don't, Washington just has a little too much offense, in my opinion. So I have them winning in 6. And my original finals were Boston and Tampa.
Yes.
In this, but I have Boston going out in the first round against Carolina, and you did too.
Yeah, because Boston looks gone awful.
Yes, they haven't played good.
But I had Carolina in 5.
Yes, I have them in 7. But I could be wrong. If Boston finds a way to win that series, they could start picking up momentum, and who knows what could happen. Remember, they were the best team in hockey for a reason.
Yeah, they probably look like just about the worst team in hockey right now.
So on to round 2. So that would mean the Flyers play Carolina and Washington plays Tampa. I have the Flyers going through Carolina in 6.
Okay.
Again, that would actually, if that series happens, that'll be an excellent series.
If we could watch it.
Actually, by then we should be able to. Brindamore he knows how to get his team ready. A former Flyer. Yeah, I think it'll be a good series, but I think, again, just the way Philly's playing right now, they're just too... As much as I hate to say that...
Yeah.
Trust me, it like burns my tongue to have to talk anything good about the Flyers. The two favorite days of my year...
When the Flyers go to the playoffs?
No, when the Flyers are eliminated from winning the Stanley Cup.
And the Eagles
and when the Eagles are eliminated from winning the NFL championship. Those are my 2 favorite days of the year. I can't stand those 2.
If you had to choose a better day, what's the best? I'd probably see the Eagles.
Yeah, I hate the Flyers more than you know what? No, I don't know. I can't stand them.
The thing is, you kind of grew up with hockey.
Yes,
a little
I
bit
did.
more than football.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I still watch football.
I think I could live with the Flyers winning the Stanley Cup. I hated when the Eagles won the NFL. Oh. We just live in the wrong part of the country for that.
Washington, Tampa. I picked Washington in 7.
That's a bold statement.
With
right
an
there.
asterisk.
That's a bold statement.
With an asterisk. The asterisk is Tampa going to get some of their better players back that are hurt? Now, one of the guys that I wasn't expecting to play, at least yet, is at number 77, and I don't know his name. I suck with names. And he was in the lineup today. He was a late addition. He got hurt in their last game. So, didn't know that he was going to play. But he came back and played. So, yeah, if Tampa is fully healthy, especially on the defense, I would have them winning, assuming they could get by Columbus.
You have Hope playing a good series then if they're winning that series.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, last time they beat them, Hope pitched a 2-game shutout. Two straight games pitched a shutout.
All right, so I have Philly and Washington, and I have yuck.
What's that supposed to mean?
I have the Flyers going to the Stanley Cup. That looks pretty similar to you.
Yeah, I just don't have Tampa winning, and that's basically like the same.
I have the Flyers going in 5 over Washington.
5.
5.
Wow, you really think now you think Hope is gonna suck.
Well, I tell you what, when they played each other in this round robin, Philly just dominated that entire game.
So
again, it was a round robin game. Who knows? Anything could happen in a 7-game series.
Basically, you're saying there that Washington's offense will never get going.
I'm not necessarily saying that. I mean, I think Philly's offense, especially right now, is just better. So Philly's offense is better. Their defense is with Washington, but right now Philly's got by far the better goaltender.
So you think it could be a high-scoring series?
No, not. I think it could be. I think it could be for Philly. Yes, I'm not
as like Edmonton Chicago series, but you see 5-3 games, 5-4 games.
I think the Flyers could put up 4 or 5 a game. Yeah, I'm not going to say Washington could put up 4. I mean, maybe 1 game, but I don't think they'll be able to do that.
Not even trusting Ovechkin out here.
So I have
Granted, I had them going out in the second round.
Yes, you do. All right, so over to the West. Vegas, Chicago. You had Vegas in 7.
I did have Vegas in 7.
I have Vegas in 6.
6.
Yes. Colorado, Phoenix. You had Colorado in 4. I have Colorado in 5. Calgary, Dallas. We both had Calgary in 7. And St. Louis. Who was St. Louis playing? I cut it off on my sheet here. St. Louis was playing Vancouver.
You had it in 6.
I have Vancouver and St. Louis in 6.
Wow, looks very similar.
It does. It does look very similar, right? Yeah, the West
still
does look
going
similar.
in that fourth overtime with 3 minutes to go. Jesus.
Okay, into the next round. I have Vegas facing Calgary, and I have Vegas in 5. So far I have Vegas kind of getting through easy in 6 and in 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Colorado over St. Louis in 6. How many did you have? 6 or 7 there? You had 7. Yeah.
7.
Yeah. So far it's looking very, very similar,
Very similar.
to yours, as I kind of hinted it is. In the conference final, now I had in this bracket, I had Vegas and Colorado originally.
Yeah. Sticking to the roots.
Yep. And so I still have Vegas and Colorado.
Still going to be a hell of a series.
And I had Colorado coming out into the Stanley Cup. And I still have Colorado coming out into the Stanley Cup. I have a Vegas-Colorado series, just like I said when years were up. It's a war. It's an all-out, absolute war. That is going to be, in my opinion, the best series in the last 5 or 6 years. That has the opportunity to be an awesome series. It could rival. I'm going to go back to a series before you were alive.
Mattel!
That's
Mattel!
right. It could rival the 1994 Rangers Devils series in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Both those teams are real good anymore. Real good.
Well, that was almost 30 years ago.
I
now.
don't care. Mattel!
I remember right where I was when that goal happened.
A bowling center.
I in a bar at a bowling center. So,
and you probably jumped up and screamed like a little girl.
I don't remember that. So we both have Colorado and Philly in the finals. You have Colorado winning
in 5. And
since I had Colorado winning originally over Boston, I kept Colorado winning. I have them winning in 6. We will see how it progresses, whether I want to change that. If Philly steamrolls their way through...
in like 4, 5, and 5?
Yeah.
They might win in 5.
But I will say if Philly does make it and they do play Vegas or Colorado, that will be... They won't have faced nearly as difficult of a team.
The only team in the East that could... None could really match up against Vegas or Colorado, in my opinion.
I mean, if Boston gets their acting gear, they can. But right now they're playing like crap.
I mean, Philly, Vegas, or Philly, Colorado is basically a skate war.
Yeah. That would be some entertaining hockey as well. I would look forward to watching that series.
And I just have my fingers crossed if Philly doesn't win.
So, those are our hockey predictions for now. So, let's end the night the way we've been ending. By the way, there's...
Save 84, maybe?
There's 40 seconds left in the 4th overtime. And, a save. And they go crashing into the
I like
goal.
how it's like, a save. It was right at him.
Yeah.
It was right...
She tried to go on between the
It was at the logo. At the big logo on the chest.
All right, so let's do stupid laws tonight.
Oh boy, you're not going to say any of these, right?
Well, I know how to say that. We're up to Hawaii. We're up to the H's. Hawaii. H. What's our next state? Idaho. Oh wait, there's a lot of I's. There's Iowa. There's Idaho.
Indigo.
Illinois. So probably Idaho is next. Yeah, probably
Idaho.
Idaho's next. Idaho's next. So, stupid laws in Hawaii. In Kauai. I am so smart. SMRT. In Kauai, it is illegal for buildings to be taller than palm trees.
All right, so whenever I go to Hawaii, I swear if I'm in Kauai, and I'm sure I will be at some point, I will be measuring the buildings.
So there is no Empire State Building in Hawaii.
Not at least in Kauai.
At least in Kauai, yes. When you're in a state park in Hawaii, you're not allowed to annoy the birds.
What's classifying as annoying the birds?
Doesn't say.
Do they go like, "You're annoying"?
Doesn't say.
Okay.
It says, "You're annoying me. I'm calling the cops."
With the banana phone.
Yes.
Or the coconut phone.
One interesting thing, if you go to Hawaii, you will see no billboards. No billboards in Hawaii.
I'm very intrigued to know if that's real.
It says billboards were outlawed in the 1920s.
I'm going to have to ask her about that.
No billboards in Hawaii. That would be nice.
Good. Less accidents, because people aren't going to look at the billboards.
Yes. It is illegal to have more than one alcohol drink in front of you at the same time. So you can't have two drinks. You can't be double-fisted in Hawaii. No double fisting in Hawaii. There's 10 seconds left in overtime number 4. And... Oh! 3.8 seconds left.
That was a good field goal.
Here's an interesting one. You are not allowed to have coins in your ears in Hawaii. Coins in your ears.
Oh?
Coins in your ears.
You can't be listening to 50 Cent.
That's right. That's right. No listening to 50 Cent. No 50 Cent. There's got to be money involved for Jason to pick Philly. Yeah, probably. You're not allowed to get a tattoo. Speaking of ears, it's illegal to get a tattoo behind your ears or on your eyelids. Who'd want a tattoo on their eyelid? That would hurt.
I'm sure there's people in the world. End of the fourth overtime.
Fourth overtime is over.
Can we settle this with rock, paper, scissors?
This is game 1.
Can we settle this with rock, paper, scissors?
You know, they said, I heard, that they could start these games as late as 11. Well, you're pushing it, getting the Boston game to start at 11. Because you're going on, they're not going to start this until 9. And you got to disinfect the locker rooms, disinfect the benches, and then get the other team. I don't see them. So either they're going to...
Half an hour to get probably in and out.
So, so either they're going to, like, not play this game tonight, or they're going to start past 11 o'clock. Yes. Don't know if this one is true, but you could be fined if you don't own a boat in Hawaii.
She could be fined.
We're going to have to find that one out. You're going to have to ask that.
I know she doesn't have a boat.
Poor policeman. It's illegal for police officers to have sex with a prostitute during an investigation.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not? I don't know.
Why not? Here's one that surprised me.
Okay.
For a little over 600 years now, it's illegal to sink the Hawaiian Islands. Interesting.
It's not as easy as just blowing it up. I mean, I guess if you dropped like a nuke in it.
Well, I'm thinking just get a really big bucket of water. Like a super huge bucket of... It's in the ocean, so you can get a really big bucket.
Why don't we just push the island over?
You got some... Well, we could tip one of the smaller islands. You could tip it over. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Here's an interesting one. It is illegal to ride in the backseat of a car without a seatbelt. But if all the seats are occupied, you could ride in the back of a pickup truck, like in the bed, without any safety precautions. So you get your feet over the tailgate. The tailgate you could be open. But as long as you're in the back seat, you gotta have a seatbelt on. Interesting.
So if it's occupied by teddy bears,
yes,
I'm good.
Yes. For you milkshake lovers in Hawaii, you're not allowed to use imitation milk in milkshakes without permission. No imitation milk.
I didn't know there was a thing.
Yes, there is. Yes. Shooting galleries cannot offer liquor as prizes.
Okay.
Makes sense. I want to save that one till the end. You're not allowed to display captive dolphins or whales. So, like, no SeaWorld. No Shamu. According to this. You're not allowed to break off mineral deposits from caves.
Okay.
So, ding, ding, chisel. Yeah.
So if I see a deposit of gold
Yes.
this big, I am breaking it off. I do not care.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. In Hawaii, twins are not allowed to work for the same company.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't say identical twins. So if you're like a boy and girl twin, are you allowed to work for the same company or not?
Apparently not.
Interesting. You're going to have to ask your girlfriend on that one.
He's not a twin. Yeah.
While you are fishing, you are not allowed to use dynamite, poison, or electrical current to catch fish.
That's illegal. That's illegal in more than just Hawaii, dynamite fishing.
Why would you use dynamite to catch a fish?
Okay. Freshman year of college, we actually did a project on blast fishing, which is dynamite fishing.
So it blows the fish out of the water and that's how you catch them?
Basically, no, it kills it.
Yeah, so
you pick it up then. I don't know. I don't understand the point of it.
That's pretty dumb.
But people do that.
It is illegal to leave your house if you don't know where you're going.
Oh.
So what your girlfriend is doing right now is illegal. If they're just driving around the island.
No, she didn't go get her COVID test and stuff.
Oh. Okay. You're not allowed to possess shark fins.
Okay.
It's illegal to wear only swim trunks out in public.
Wow, a lot of people would get arrested.
Yeah, like everybody.
Pretty much.
Everybody. And the most interesting one, now this, I might say this wrong, the Oricama tribe. See, this is where I wish she was watching right now so she could say if I said that right. The Oricama tribe in Hawaii, men are not allowed to eat their second wife.
Oh? They're allowed to eat their first?
Apparently they're allowed to eat their first, their third, their fourth, and the fifth, but not the second. Don't ask me. I don't know what that says about your first wife. You're not allowed to eat your first. Not allowed to eat your second wife. Interesting. Let's see here. If you're a surfer, you cannot express yourself using vocabulary of no more than 100 words. So if you're trying to explain to you're a surfer, you can't use it more than 100 words to explain you're a surfer. Okay? No child may be named Charles. No Chucky in Hawaii.
Okay.
No Chucky. Here's one that I would have loved to have asked her too. All girls under the age of 12 must own a grass skirt and take dancing lessons. I'm sure that's not enforced. But, yeah.
They gotta be hula girls.
In the past, there was a law that required children to obey all lawful and moral commands by their parents. Wouldn't that be an excellent law for every state to have? Wouldn't it be an enforceable law where children must obey their parents?
Or what?
Hard labor. Hard time. Doing hard time. That would be awesome.
Picking up trash or something?
That would be the best law imaginable. Because I could say, you know what? I don't like that guy over there. Go shoot him.
No.
You got to obey.
You got to do something legal.
It doesn't say that. It says, actually, it does say lawful and moral.
Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Those are stupid laws of Hawaii. So, like I said, our next state, I believe, is Idaho. We will do that Friday. For those of you that were not watching us, we will be doing a show Friday. And then next week, we're doing Tuesday and Thursday. Because somebody goes back up to school next Friday. Nobody I know.
There's a lot of people that go back up to Penn State on Friday, next Friday.
So there will be no show next Friday, and we'll probably be on hiatus for a week or two until he gets used to his schedule, and then we will
Oh, my real tough schedule that I got.
Well, you know, because you'll be out golfing all the time and
basically every day if I can.
So, we do have new software that we're using now. I updated my Wirecast so we could now use Zoom to bring you in. We don't need Skype, so I could just send you a Zoom link and we could do it over Zoom.
I mean, both are very easy
Yeah,
to use.
But Skype looked like a better quality picture.
Zoom?
I mean, Zoom. It had a better quality, so we'll use Zoom.
It's the same thing.
I just got to set it up to where we can both be on at the same time. I haven't figured it out with the new software yet. The old software was easy. I haven't figured out with the new one yet how to bring two people on at the same time.
You really think that the new software would be the same as the old software, just with some more buttons?
Yes.
You really think they wouldn't make it, I hate when developers do that, change where buttons are. YouTube does it all the time. Yeah, and it's so annoying.
I know how to do side-by-side picture, but I haven't figured it out how to do side-by-side picture where one of them is from a different location. Mm-hmm. The old software, it was just the same thing. Haven't figured out with the new one yet. I may have to call their tech support.
Tech support.
Yes. The tech support. I am in India.
You never see an Indian rob a bank.
No, you know.
Because could you imagine? Could you imagine? Will you please give me the money?
You did that pretty good.
I said put the money in the bag.
You didn't do that very good.
Sorry.
Yeah, the other one.
Sorry. And then they're laughing at him, and then he comes back to his partner. And close the door. He goes, "Did you get the money?" No. Where'd you get the computer? They thought I was tech support.
You did that one pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, don't forget, Friday, we get to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys want to bring anything to the table.
We've been doing this for 3 weeks, and no one's ever commented.
Bring anything to the table. No one. Don't forget to tell everybody about the show, especially now that we know who Trump is facing in the election. It's Trump against Harris. Biden just doesn't count.
Can Trump debate her?
Grandpa Joe.
Come on, I want to see these debates. Let's go.
Grandpa Joe.
That's gonna be the highlight of September. Is the debate.
It's amazing. It's amazing that he would just even I've discussed this in the primary. You run. If you're a Democrat, you run left. If you're a Republican, you run right. Once you get the nomination, you run to the middle. Well, Biden has continued to run left, and he goes left every day more and more and more.
So that means that the non-progressive Democrat won't vote.
We'll see.
Because they obviously probably don't like Trump. Or they might agree with some things he says, but don't agree with most. But they don't agree with what Biden's saying because he's way too far left.
Well, he's not saying anything. It's all his surrogates that are the ones that are saying shit.
Then he's way too far left for the middle-leaning left.
I mean, the worst part is these idiots at the Lincoln Project. These supposed Republicans. Yeah, the rhinos. They're even trying to get supporters of Trump that are in the Senate and the House now out. Why all of a sudden do these idiots want Democrats to win? Again, the president gets to pick the next judges. There's nothing more important than that. Can you imagine if we get 5 or 6 progressive judges on the Supreme Court, what's going to happen to this country?
Well, because if Biden won, the what's-her-face will step down.
Yes.
Ginsburg's gone. There'll be another progressive put in.
Yes.
And then Roberts might even step down.
No, he's not going to. No, he's only in his 60s, early 60s.
Yeah, but
the next guy that'll step down is Clarence Thomas. He's the one that's getting up there, and he's a Republican. So that's
I did a project on him once.
Okay.
On Clarence Thomas.
Okay. I mean, what we wouldn't give for Scalia to still be alive right now? Who? Anton Scalia, the guy that Gorsuch replaced.
Oh.
The first Italian American on the Supreme Court.
Italiano.
Very much an originalist, which conservatives, if you're a conservative, you're an originalist. Do I gotta teach you everything? By the way, I know you bought butter pecan ice cream?
Yes.
I never knew you liked butter pecan.
The one at the creamery is delicious.
I guess we're gonna find out Turkey Hill butter pecan is delicious.
Pecan. Pecan.
on. Tomato, tomato. Potato, potato.
Pecan. You're so stupid. Mine is stupid, though.
You're the one that has your mother's genetics, not me.
Butter pecan. You don't like pecans? It's like
it.
buttery vanilla ice cream with pecans.
I'll try it.
I'll try it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you Friday night. We're going to watch overtime number 5.
Woo!
And remember, just as always, where we go one,
We go all.
See ya.